Hello, Kathy. Happy Slut Cup to you. Hello, Allie. Allie, you look very sharp today. I'm glad that you got all dressed up. I've been trying to get a little dressed up every day, not as nicely as you did today, though. So I'm very excited. As you see, I have a package from Prime, from Amazon. And I thought, hello, sale. I thought that I could let you guys enjoy the excitement. I kind of know what's coming, but I don't know exactly what's in here. So let's see. I did open it in advance to make it easier for this. Oh my goodness. So now I have an exciting new book to read. And this is called Champagne, How the World's Most Glamorous Wine Triumphed Over War and Hard Times. I love a good nonfiction. That's very exciting. Excuse me while I put it where it can't get wet. Fantastic. Very exciting. And even more exciting than that is, look what Mama got. Mama got a big old box grater with a little catch box on the bottom. Somebody loves me. So that's this is my inspiration for today. I'm going to, hello Jay, hello Kathy. I'm going to suggest to you guys to pick a person you love and send them a little gifty today. Now, I know that we're not supposed to be doing stuff that's not essential through the post, but so what? It's going to make somebody's day, and that makes a lot more sense than anything else. So maybe you can make somebody's day. Maybe not a gifty, maybe a card, a good old-fashioned handwritten letter, something like that. Something like this. I mean, you know, I was as grumpy as I could possibly be 3 minutes ago, and now it's changed my day. Actually, the person that sent me this is the person I was grumpy with. So he won some points here. So anyway, I'm very excited, guys. Pardon me while I put all the things away where they can't get hurt. And so now I uncover what's happening next here. Let's see if I can turn this. Hello, Denise. And there we go. Now, do I still fit in this screen? Not really, but it cuts off the ugliest part of me. There we go. So anyway, I said that we were going to do something with beets today, and I'm going to show you what I like to do with beets by starting out and showing you how I make my blue cheese dressing. So I have already taken a big hunk of blue cheese and kind of broken it up a little bit. Hello, Diane. Broken up. This is a really soft one, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to let this sit overnight before I eat it, use it anyway. Hello, Houston. Texas is in the house, guys. So now normally I would use mayonnaise, milk, and sour cream, but I don't have any sour cream. So I'm going to use yogurt and heavy cream. So that kind of makes up, I feel like, for the difference in fat content. Something else that you might like to know about me is I don't believe in fake food. So anything that has artificial sweetener, artificial fat, I don't do it. So I'd rather have an egg than anything. I'd rather have mayonnaise. And sorry I didn't make my own, but nonetheless, I'd rather have mayonnaise than Miracle Whip any day. I know that that's a fight, but I've started it. So anyway, I have a glass of Viognier here this morning because it was cold and in the door. So let's see. Anybody else here? Here we go. Hello. So here's what I'm going to do. I have something that's about the size of my fist of blue cheese. And then I'm going to clearly put mayonnaise on the shopping list as we seem to be running a little low on the mayonnaise department. So I'm going to take this big sort of soup spoon and give it a nice big dollop there. And then I'm going to rinse off this spoon so I can use it again because that's kind of my measuring spoon, if you will. And I don't want to, my mother always said, I have to think about this a minute, that you could use the jelly knife in the peanut butter, but not the peanut butter knife in the jelly, because there were lots of times that you wanted jelly with no peanut butter, but there was hardly any time that you wanted peanut butter with no jelly. So I don't want any mayonnaise in my yogurt, that is for sure. So here we go. And I'm going to take just basically about the same amount of that. go. Yummo. Perfect. So then I'm going to show you how I spice it up, which is not a lot. I'm going to take, this is a really salty cheese, so I'm only going to put a little extra salt in it. We can always add salt. Hello, Lisa, how are you? And I'm going to give it always several good cracks of black pepper because it's just delicious. Something that I think is really important in this is a little cayenne pepper. And I'm not afraid, so I put a fair amount in. Then we want to put a little juice here, so let me give this bad boy a quick cut. Thank goodness I have that napkin there so I won't cut the countertop. Not a lot, just a little bit, right? There we go. And I can still use that lemon for a cocktail a little later on. And then the most important part, umami. So I'm going to give it a couple of good little, maybe call it 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then I'm going to put a little heavy cream. It's always, you don't want it to be too loose. So I would start with maybe a teaspoon, a tablespoon, somewhere in there, and see how your consistency comes up. You just want to kind of get it incorporated and get the cheese through all of it, because it's going to sit. This is something that you always need to, pardon me, what am I trying to say? Let it sit. It's not ever going to be good a la minute. You want this to have time for all your flavors to commingle and all of that. So let me just see here what we've got flavor-wise, and if I've done anything too heavy-handed that might need to be fixed. Oh no, that's all cheese. I don't want to taste that. It'll just taste like the delicious cheese that I bought. Okay, let's see. Oh man, I love blue cheese. It makes me want to grill a steak, but I'm still holding pretty well in my no meat week, except for the fact that I did eat the 3 strips of bacon that I started the carrot soup with, pardon me, and I woke up this morning and it looks like I may have, in a drunken revelry last night, I may have eaten a piece of ham in the middle of the night. It was the only one, so I couldn't have done too much damage. So anyway, this just needs to go in. But the reason I made this is it's one of the best things in the world to pair with beets. But hold the phone and let me show you about my love of beets. If you don't know about these or the little love beets that are, I know they have those at Kroger and sometimes at Whole Foods, the Love Beets brand. They're great. It's a game changer. You want to eat beets every day because your hands aren't stained. It doesn't take 3 weeks from next Sunday to get them done. Hello, Michael. Hello, Avelino. We got Mexico in the house. Hello, Gracie. Rachmaninoff. No, it's not. I'm so glad somebody asked because I have a dear friend who was a conductor that I worked with regularly when I was younger, and who lives in Lexington, Kentucky, to be clear. And he has a couple of music groups whereby he posts Baroque. We have a Baroque 19th century and 18th century group and a 20th century group. But he posted this yesterday and I hadn't had a chance to listen to it, and it is Czerny. So the person you hate the most because you think that all you do is this. So he's not a bad composer, right? If you want to compare him to Rachmaninoff, that's high praise, right? And Tchaikovsky, right? That's getting some good, right? So there we go. So I love these little beets. They are absolutely fantastic. And so my 2 favorite ways to have beets is with a little bit of blue cheese dressing. If you had some drier blue cheese, like I said, this was really soft. You might want to just crumble a little blue cheese on them. I kind of treat them the same way that I do avocados. I might just eat an avocado straight out of the skin with a spoon. When I do that very often, I'll pop the seed out, and then I'll have salad dressing in the core and just eat it like that. It's awesome. So just chop up some beets, put some blue cheese on, with or without lettuce, who cares? And I also love to just take some goat cheese, crumble some goat cheese, maybe. I know Chris Wilford said the other day he doesn't like fruit or nuts in salads, but I love fruit and nuts in salads, so maybe crumble some walnuts in with it, maybe put a couple of croutons on it and give it a little crunch. Just so simple, so easy, and so satisfying, you know, because you can eat a ton of them. I mean, like, look, is this? This is 2 servings, and 3/4 of a cup is a serving, and it's 40 calories. I mean, 2 servings, eat the whole darn thing, I would say, right? So, I'm not really going to cook anything today because I've got to be able to see inside my refrigerator, which I really can't do right now. But I'm hoping that by the end of the day, I can eat enough to get to the bottom of it all. But what I will say is that in exchange for doing a short cooking in quarantine, for those of you who are interested, hello, Stephen Boyd, how are you? Hello, Van Meter. So I am going to come back at 1 and do a bit on the movie Uncorked. I belong also online to a couple of wine study groups. And most of the people in the wine study groups are young people just, you know, struggling through the first few stages of wine study. And I think the most commonly asked question is, how much do I need to be studying? And of course, that's a question that absolutely can't be answered. Some people are excellent students. Some people are great at memorization. Some people come to wine with those skill sets already in place, which makes it 1,000 times easier to jumpstart. Maybe you grew up in Chicken Bristle, Kentucky, where people hid the booze in the house and had no experience with booze, really, in the larger world until you got out into the larger world, right? Or maybe you grew up in a family with a father who and mother who traveled and collected wines everywhere they went, and you were sort of born with the shorthand. So anyway, I'm going to come back at 1, and we're going to talk about the things that I think are kind of dangerous in that movie. Not dangerous, you know, but or maybe might dishearten some people if they feel that they're struggling with the subject past the timeline that the movie seems to suggest. So I'm just going to put that out there for anybody who wants to come and talk with me about that or listen to that. But that's really, I'm doing it for all of these young people who I see really struggling with what kind of parameters to set on those things. So anyway, let me see if anybody's asked any questions. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Kim. Oh yes, that's one of the best things. You always have to be careful when you eat too many beets, because you might think it's time to just go straight to the hospital, which we're not doing these days, right? Where none of us are going to the hospital. So guys, I'm going to go and get this cleaned up so that I can move this into the Tolkien corner for the 1 o'clock on wine study. Ciao. Thanks for coming, you guys, every day. And remember, like I said, today's mental health thing is send somebody a letter, send somebody a gift, do something, because it was so great to get that grater in the mail today and a nice book on champagne. So I'm feeling very grateful. I'm feeling full of love. You guys fill me full of love. So see you back here at 1 o'clock in the other room.